Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Extinct Bricks Originals! And for this very special episode, we will be featuring the LYKA compatible custom Extinct Bricks Originals Godzilla! But before we move on with the video, I'd like to say thanks to youtube.com audio library for this awesome background music. Please like, share, and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell. To be able to support my channel, please do not skip on all the ads and all my videos. Thanks everyone! You may also want to follow me on all my social media platforms. We have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and in LYKA. I usually post updates and exclusive photos on my social media platforms, so I'll see you there! The guest SPC contest winners will be announced at the end of the video, but first here's how you can join. Just click on the Extinct Bricks icon and it will lead you to the Extinct Bricks homepage. And in the homepage, just click on the community link and you'll see there all my posts. See ya to Team Godzilla! Well, let's move on with the making of my Godzilla figure. This is one of the bigger customs that I did. It's larger than the King Kong that I did earlier. It is also heavier than that one. Although it is technically smaller than the Argentinosaurus, definitely. It is composed of many different figures such as the Ghidorah, even the T-Rex, up to Technic parts as well. Just to build the arms and also the legs. I won't be showing those, but you'll get the idea after you see it in total. So earlier you've seen the head being sculpted and now the legs. Here of course the eye, and of course Usher and Moira here is helping me out, and thank you guys for sitting beside Daddy while I'm working. I've worked in several stages on this one, making sure that some of the clay have dried before I move on with several parts of the body. And as I progress with the sculpting, several details have been added as well, such as additional back plates, as well as of course detailing on the tail as well. Godzilla of course has several spikes on the back as well as bumps on the head and neck, so I'm doing that as well using this flexible foam. After all the sculpting details have been added, it's time for us to of course primer the figure, and I used a gray scale for this one since Godzilla is technically mostly gray but with the highlights of course black and several other tones of colors. And so I started painting the figure entirely with this sand blue color with a little bit of darkness to it. This sand blue color will eventually be in gradient, from darker to lighter, going towards the underbelly. To be able to achieve that uniform opacity and consistency on the paint, I usually go 2 times or 2 coats on this one. Using the same blue that I used before, I then added several lighter colors such as yellows and also white to this one, and applied it on the lower jaw as well as the underbelly of Godzilla. You can see there a little gift figure of Godzilla, as inspiration while I'm doing this figure. Godzilla's backplates are actually darker than its body. So I mixed a bit of black with of course blues and even greens and yellows to achieve this color and painted them on all the backplates of Godzilla. It's quite difficult to get through all the snippets and all the corners of the plates, so I'm doing that carefully. As with the other flat surfaces of the figure, I had to go 2 coats on this one so that the opacity and consistency is uniform all throughout. Have been painted, I went on a little break and had this one dry before I further on with the details on the paint. Taking a look closely, you can see here that it really paid off to have a second coat on the figure. Alright, so it's time to move on with several more details. This would include of course painting details on the eyes such as the background and painting individual scales on Godzilla as well as the nails and the mouth colors. For Godzilla's bigger scales, I wanted it to really pop out from that sand blue color, and so I used the same colors from the belly of Godzilla and applied this on these elevated scales. This actually looked like rock from far, so it's really looking good. Give Godzilla's face a little bit more dimension, I added this bluish gray color on the areas above the eyes as well as under the eyes and even the top of the head. This might not be very apparent, but when it dries, it actually is a different color. Godzilla does have a lot of details in terms of appearance of the skin, such as folds and even additional scales here and there. So to be able to catch up on this instead of having them in individual scopes, painting these details instead would be the better option. Godzilla's underbelly is in no sense his vulnerable area. It is actually made up of armor-like plates as well, so I'm making those details included in paint. Adding in several more details, of course, Godzilla's eyes are glowing blue. So for this one, I added a bit more white, blue, and light turquoise. Godzilla's backplates actually light up whenever he is charging for an atomic blast. So I'm making that same impression here by doing this blue paint on the backplates. It looks really good on the black background. Well, anyways, I do plan to have, maybe a revision of the Godzilla wherein I can include LEDs on this one, try to make that backplates really glow, or maybe just add bioluminescent paint on this one. But hey, let me know what you guys think. As I mentioned earlier, to complete the figure, details has to be included, of course, such as coloring the mouth, the teeth, the nails, and so on. The last of the portions that I actually painted on Godzilla would be the fingernail. So I actually gave him a pedicure or manicure, and then I'm calling it off. And since there's an overwhelming response of you guys on my Guess PC contest, I actually selected 20 lucky picks for this one, and here they are: Karu Atmaja, Shinshe Kia, the Jurassic World Gang, Madonna Nera, Melvin Glorious Permana, Nisiasi Irawe, Jarvius Zoo, Cezanne Jimenez, Ruby Head, and Godzilla. Thanks everyone! Now let's move on with the video, and this is Assembrix. You can do it, and let's bolt in. So all in all, the figure has 34 parts to it. Alright, so let's start with the head. I actually connected already the lower jaw because it's quite difficult to put in, and I don't want to break it, of course. Now let's attach it to the body. Alright. Now let's attach the back plates. So we have the bigger one until the smallest. I already attached some of the back plates already on the other side so that we don't lose time. And here I am just showing you that the other side has already been attached as well. Okay, so let's move on with the arms. Each arm is composed of 3 parts. So let's attach them quickly. So we have here, I think this is the right one, and then this is the left arm. Okay, so let's attach these to the figure. Let's attach the left arm here, and then the right. There you go. Now let's move on to the legs. It has 2 parts each, the thigh and then the lower leg with the feet. Okay, so once that is done, let's now connect to the body. Now let's start with the right one here, and then with the left. There you go. All we need is just a tail. The tail is composed of 4 pieces. The bigger one to the smallest one, or the thinnest one. There you go, attaching the tip. And there you have it, Godzilla's tail. Let's not forget Atomic Blast from Godzilla. And voila! Completed Godzilla figure. I hope you like it. Now let's move on with a closer look on this figure. Hello again. So we have here Godzilla of Godzilla vs King Kong. It is actually based off from several images in the Godzilla franchise, but I usually would refer to the NECA Godzilla toy, but nonetheless, it is a conglomeration of other figures and other references photos as well. So EB is really excited for this one. I know he's a bit overwhelmed with the King Kong one, but yeah, let's continue on with a closer look. So to be able to have a really good picture of my Godzilla here, we will be taking a look from head to the tail. Alright, so where do we start? So let's count up the number of plates here. Counting it, so we have actually a total of 20 on the back and 18 on the tail side. So we have a total of 38 plates all in all. Wow, that's a lot. I didn't realize that. Moving on with a closer look, we will be examining of course the head, the arms, the legs, and the body details of Godzilla, including of course the tail. So let's start first with observing or taking a close look at the head. So Godzilla's head is very much different from other dinosaurs that I made before. It is smaller as compared to the body size overall. However, it does have several more details, such as of course including those attachments for the atomic blast, several more details on the painting of the eyes, such as of course making several gradients from darker to lighter blue. And then of course this attachment, the atomic blast. Initially I wanted to have just this small fire that I have, but since Godzilla would shoot straight up lasers from his mouth, so I created this one. I know it's not much, but this will do for the meantime. Maybe I would do another one, a revision on this atomic blast maybe in the near future. Now, several other sculpting details were added to the neck, since Godzilla would have these scales on the bottom of his neck, and different sizes of back scales, as well as different sizes of back plates as well, which are, of course, can be removed and replaced. My Godzilla also has this sound effects, as you can see here from the side, which when I press, will sound like awesome, right? Now, moving on to the arms, it's actually made of several joint attachments, which are ball and socket. So it'll have different range of motions from the shoulder joint as well as the elbow joint. the same joint mechanisms are actually applied on the leg portion of this figure. This is actually from a good figure that I modified, and so that explains the thing. Now let's move on to the tail. So the tail is pretty much very simple. It's made up of several ratchet areas or ratchet joints here, and it can move in several ways. It can be twisted, and there's a variety of positions for this one as with my other figures as well, such as the Titanoboa. I guess if you haven't seen that video yet, please do check it out in my Extinct Bricks playlist. And that's it for our Godzilla closer look. I hope you like it. Of course, we won't be moving forward without having the size comparisons. And for the size comparisons, of course, Eevee is here to be compared with Godzilla, and as you can see here, although he's not the actual size comparison, we do have certain limitations. As if you really want the size to be really accurate, it's going to be as big as me compared to a regular minifigure. But to be able to have an accurate size completion, maybe we can have here the comparison of the plate to a minifigure. That is how big Godzilla is. Let's place him back here so that we can move forward with the size comparisons. And of course, size comparisons wouldn't be complete if I do not compare this one with my other existing figures. And here they are. First would be this Fearsome Chicken. No, I'm just kidding. So among the Fearsome costumes that I did before would be this Extinct Bricks Velociraptor Blue. This is a repaint. Also, this is the Extinct Bricks Excavatoraptor, one of my more fearsome creations as well. This is based off from a modification done for Jurassic World Dominion. I think the artist really did a good job on this one. Alright, so let's move on with the next one. This is the Extinct Bricks Indoraptor. Now, we all know that the Indoraptor that LEGO did was quite big and is almost as big as the T-Rex, so I made a smaller one, and here it is. I know it's really fearsome, but it's nothing compared to Godzilla since it's just a fraction of his nail, I think. Well, let's move on with the next comparison. And this time, it's the King of Ainolublar. This is Extinct Bricks T-Rex. Now, Rexy here has of course several other modifications. I lengthened its body, the proportions are not correct, and there are a lot of modifications to the head as well. So, comparing it with the Godzilla here, of course, the T-Rex would have been around this size, I guess, comparing it with the Godzilla. Alright, so let's move on with the other figures. Since Godzilla is also a semi-aquatic creature, here is the Extinct Bricks Spinosaurus 2020. Now, the Spinosaurus 2020 here could have been probably that size, but it does have similarities to Godzilla since it also has this back thing going on and also the tail as well. So let's move on with large creatures from the deep, since Godzilla is also technically from the sea as well. So this is the Extinct Bricks Megalodon, and the Megalodon is really a big shark, but however, this figure is I think too big for Godzilla and will probably pass as a Titan already. It could have been probably around this size, I think, but nonetheless, it should be smaller, or at least Godzilla of course should be bigger. And since we've shown Megalodon, it's time for us to have, this is the Extinct Bricks Mosasaurus. We all know that the Mosasaurus is definitely a large creature, but probably this will have a fraction of the length of its tail, probably. So what do you guys think? How is the Mosasaurus compared with the Godzilla figure or with the real Godzilla in terms of length? Comment below and let me know what you guys think. And of course, the last of the comparisons would be the Extinct Bricks King Kong, which I actually recently just released a video 2 weeks ago, I guess. So this is the King Kong I have. Technically, it's a bit smaller than that of the Godzilla, but I think I will still have to make several more modifications to this, probably to improve it and also be more size accurate to that of the Godzilla one that I have right now. But at the moment, probably I'll have that for later. But I am really enjoying how these two figures are, you know, battling off each other. Bam! Well, of course, Godzilla is not going to give up a fight. Charging Godzilla, and here's his atomic blast. And that's the end for King Kong. I really enjoyed making both of these figures, also playing with them. I hope you guys have enjoyed this featurette on the movie Godzilla vs. King Kong. Some of you are actually requesting for a Mecha Godzilla. I know it's quite a big, you know, remake, but I think doing a Mecha Godzilla would be most appropriate for an MLC, not a customized figure. Well, there will be more exciting features for Extinct Bricks in the next few months ahead, so please tune everyone. Now it's time for us to have this PC roll call. But before we do that, I'd like you to know that all of these creatures have their own videos, so check them out in the Extinct Bricks playlist. Please also comment on what other species you'd like me to make next on Extinct Bricks. Now let's have a quick roll call. Let's start from the far right. This is the Extinct Bricks Mosasaurus, Extinct Bricks King Kong, Extinct Bricks Excavaraptor, Extinct Bricks Rexy, Repaint Up Blue, Extinct Bricks Megalodon, Extinct Bricks Indoraptor, and Extinct Bricks Spinosaurus 2020. And the video is about to end, so it's time for us to have the last looks on Godzilla. Well, this is not a spoiler, but in the recent Godzilla movie, he has suddenly become more aggressive and violent as he begins to attack major human settlements for unknown reasons. In the past, he has never done this. There are some movies appearances of Godzilla. Among this would be Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, as a cave painting, and others. He would stood up with a height of 393 feet, a length of 582 feet, and a weight of 99,000 tons. Wow! Oh no! Godzilla's arrived! Well, that's it for the video on Godzilla. I hope you guys like it. Now it's time for us to continue on with the Guess This PC contest winners. And we actually have the rest of the 10 lucky picks. And here they are. Renato Gomez, Godzilla, Mikhail Kostyanov, Loss of Speckhubber, Indo 101, Mitten the Cat, Lupil Hattie, Junior the Infant T-Rex, Luis the Mammoth, and Maverick Wilson. Congratulations everyone! And now for top 10 winners.
Top 10.
Godzilla with a smiley.
Top
Master
9.
Jessic.
Top
Bizarre
8.
Mars.
Top 7.
Maxim Cascade.
Top 6.
Budget Vermeulen.
Top
Zappy
5.
Beach.
Top 4.
Zivig New Jakotoch.
Top 3.
Maximum Power.
Top 2.
Monty Omar. And Mr. T-Rex. Congratulations everyone, and I'll see you on the next Guest PC contest. And of course, our babies Moira and Asher has their own vlog now, The Adventures of Moira and Asher. Please watch their videos and support their channel as well by subscribing. And as we always would say, let your inner dino brick roar! Thanks everyone, and goodbye for now.